And we're live, boys. All right. Spags, buddy, it's been a while. You're going to take it away here. For everybody else, I'm sorry that we didn't have a show last week, but that was not me. That was some other people who didn't feel like showing up.
All right, well, we'll start it.
Go
Obviously,
ahead,
the
Spags.
news of the night, probably about an hour ago. Bum shoulder, bum quarterback. Matthew Stafford is now the highest paid player in NFL history. That's fucked. That's fucked up. I don't know what to tell you. I'm in awe, dude. He's making $27 a year. Dude, the guy had a glass shoulder coming out of school. He's a good quarterback. I mean, they're hard to come by nowadays. It's tough to find that franchise quarterback, as you can tell. But is he $27 million a year worth? Hell no. And it's just setting the bar high. Like Derek Carr got 25 a year. He's fucking had one good year. You think these people would take the Brady route and take pay cuts to keep good players around them? But no, I don't know. I mean, you guys can fucking go on that.
What that is that Brady took pay cuts because the organization was so good, the coach was so good that he believed in the system, right? Like Matt said,
I think he took a pay cut because his wife makes like $100 million a year, and he doesn't.
And
care,
so does he in endorsements too. But
yeah, right. Well, he's also got some side shit going on with the Patriots. They got the TB12 thing at Patriot Place. Like he's doing okay for himself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, but that doesn't take away the fact he could also demand, I'm the best quarterback ever. He could demand $35 million a year. It says a lot about his person, and obviously that's not Matthew Stafford's fault. I'd play the market just like him, but it's just that it's just idiocy, whatever the fucking word is.
Idiocy.
Yeah, whatever. It's fucking midnight. Of the Lions, I know. Like I said, it's hard to come by with those franchise quarterbacks, but 27 a year for Matthew Stafford, dude, that's not worth it. And what is he, 29?
See him and they see what else is out there, and they just say, "That's all we got. We got no choice. This is who we are. He's the guy that's going to bring us there. He's never going to bring him there, but I think I read today he's thrown 30 touchdowns in a season like 3 times. I mean, like, that's ridiculous.
And he's got a lot of picks too.
Ratio. It's ridiculous. So the real winner here, though, is Kirk Cousins. He's the real fucking winner.
Yeah.
He's the one. And again, dude, if you look at this, Stafford gets credit here because he just waited it out. He's the last of the decent quarterbacks to sign.
At like under 30 or just
turned
30.
So Carr signs for 25. And then Stafford's like, well, I should get more than Carr. I'm more accomplished than him. And then the Lions are like, well, I guess we don't want to lose him, so they have to give him some ridiculous contract. Kirk Cousins got franchised again this year. He's making 25 guaranteed. He's going to go on the open market and get fucking close to $30 million next year.
That's ridiculous.
He's going to look at it and say, that's what Stafford got. There's what Derek Carr got. I've had back-to-back years of, he played well this year.
That's also sports nowadays, though, too. Like, you see these NBA contracts. Like Gordon Hayward, very good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm ecstatic to have him in Boston. But is he, if the NBA was 5 years ago now and he's the same player at the same age, is he getting $28 million a year, a max guy? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? You got guys like CJ McCollum, great player in Portland, max contract. It's like these guys, it's just sports. Giancarlo Stanton, obviously, unbelievable player, $313 million. Like, that's ridiculous. It's just sports. It's growing nowadays, but it's like it's crazy to see the NFL going that way too.
I think it goes across the board here. And you saw it first probably with the MLB. All these huge contracts, long-term deals that were absurd, probably starting with Albert Pujols.
So and A-Rod too.
A-Rod was the first of all of them. Yeah. And then it got popular. It got to the NBA recently. I mean, heck, is Steph Curry really worth $40 million a year? I don't know. I don't care about basketball. I don't care about Steph Curry. But now for football, you see what Kirk Cousins got and Derek Carr went. It's only going to jump up from here. That's it. If you can say Matthew Stafford, you're going to go players like when Odell hits free agency or all these other guys.
And Pat, and you hit on it. You know who the real winner is? Yeah, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a winner too. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Brady's, if he comes up with another great year, which he should, which you know he will, he's going to go, well, you want to keep me here. Brady's 41. Fucking Derek Carr played, 15? He played 15 more games than me, and he got $25 million a year. I want at least 20 plus.
Right.
Jimmy G won here too.
Well, so that's interesting. We're going to be talking about that on the podcast, Weekend Warrior podcast. A little shout out there.
Wow, nice self-plug. I like it. That's a good job.
But we're talking about that because you have to make a decision. They didn't have to make a decision this offseason. You have to make a decision this offseason. You got no choice.
And they can't tag him.
Yeah, they can.
But they can, but are you going to pay your backup quarterback $25 million? As much as Brady.
No, but you're going to tag him and trade him.
Oh, that's not a bad idea right there.
Because here's the thing. You have to choose. They didn't have to choose between Brady and Garoppolo this offseason because they have team control over Garoppolo. If they
just like Malcolm Butler.
Well, right, except Butler
was a restricted free agent.
If they franchise,
you know
what I mean. So they're gonna have to choose what they want to do, right?
And Belichick doesn't usually use his tag. Remember, he tagged Gostowski. I think I saw a tweet. It was like he's tagged only 4 players in his tenure. They don't tag a lot of players.
It's not a huge, but see, all the tagging does is it facilitates the trade.
Mm-hmm.
That you trade him, sign him for 2 first-round picks, or I'll trade him to you and you give us a first-round pick and a third-round pick. And so, you know what I mean? And so then you're facilitating the trade, and it's a way for you to kind of keep them. Because in the NBA, in the NFL, they don't have like the sign. Like the NBA, you could just sign and trade.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way. So you have to franchise them. So then the only question is, that's why, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think if they win the Super Bowl this year, I think Brady's done. If Brady retires.
I do too, Pat. I said it too, and everybody called me fucking crazy for that.
That's because you are fucking crazy.
I'm sticking to that.
But see, this is the thing. Think about this. On another level, forget about 6. And by the way, on the podcast, I am predicting, we predicted last week, I am predicting 19-0 this year. So I'm sticking on that. 19-0. If that happens, Brady's got 6, probably 5 Super Bowl championships, 2 16-0 regular seasons, and 1 19-0 perfect season.
And he's an MVP if he goes 16-0 no matter what.
And starts off, probably. But he starts off his career with 2 out of 3, ends his career with 2 out of 3. What more do you need?
And Pat.
And we'll throw another thing on top of it. He's a team guy. He's a team first guy. What does the team need? They need to make a decision at quarterback between him and Jimmy G.
But what if Brady can literally give you another 4 years?
He could, 4 years. Want to.
But see, this is what I'm saying to you. If Brady doesn't retire at the end of this year and he still is close to what he is now, you have no choice. You have to trade Garoppolo because you can't pass up. Garoppolo might be a great player, but how's Garoppolo going to play in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl down 6 points? You have no idea. Yeah. You know how Brady's going to play in that situation, and so you can't pass up that type of play for anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
And Pat, going off the Brady thing that you said, how you think he's done too. When has he ever marketed himself as much as he did now? He let fucking ESPN follow him around for that China journey. His whole TV12 thing. He just wrote a book. Because he literally finally solidified himself as the greatest quarterback of all time. No, he's setting his life up for after football, bro. That's what he's doing because it's coming. He's coming sooner than we think. His life after football is not with ESPN, though.
He's on the cover of Madden this year, dude.
Yeah, when has he ever done this shit?
Cover of Madden, that's insane.
But that's what I'm saying. He's just enjoying it. Like he has nothing more to prove to people now. He outdid Montana. He outdid everybody else. Now he's like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna come back and I'm literally gonna enjoy myself. Everybody knows I'm the greatest now. So
he could have done this 3 years ago, though, Scotch. After his last Super Bowl, he could have done this.
But he couldn't because he didn't have the ring.
He's setting up for life after football, dude.
There's the extra ring, I'm telling you. I mean,
yeah, maybe, but see, this stuff was in the works already, though. It's not like he won the ring and then all of a sudden decided to do all this stuff.
I mean,
I feel like
it doesn't take that much for ESPN to shoot an email to his agent and be like, "Hey, we want to follow him around China when he goes." Like that doesn't have to be in the works for like 2 years.
Railroaded him for Deflategate.
Exactly. So ESPN's like, "Ah, shit, we kind of screwed that whole situation up. Maybe we send him an email, see if we can get something going with him, patch it up a little bit." I
think it was the opposite. I think it was, Brady went overseas to do that whole. He went to China to market his TB12 thing. Why didn't he do that 5 years ago when he started it? Why is he doing it now? Because he's setting up his life for after football.
Well, yeah, obviously he's setting his life up for after football, but that doesn't mean that he's going to retire after the year.
I think it's if they win the Super Bowl, like Pat said. I said it fucking in May. If they win the Super Bowl, he's not the guy that wants a going away party. He doesn't want the Derek Jeter, David Ortiz effect. He doesn't want that pressure. He doesn't want the cameras on him. Oh, this is Tom Brady. It could be Tom Brady's last game. He wants it to be, hey, won a Super Bowl on national TV. I decided to call it quits. I'm getting old. It's time to
I agree. I agree. That'll happen. But when he predicted that he wants to play for 4 more years at the beginning of the season, I don't think he's going to say, I'm going to play for 4 more years. Yeah, screw it. Screw you guys.
He could be saying that to keep people the doubting off him. Oh, this could be Brady's last year for people like us. If he says that, we don't really think that. It's just
I wouldn't be a big fan of that if he did that. I wouldn't be a big fan if he did that.
I think, I think he's genuine. I think he really does want to play 4 more years. But the curiosity for me is that if with the resume Brady already has, he's the greatest of all time. But
yeah, absolutely.
Throw in what he could do if he goes undefeated this year and they win the Super Bowl. What more do you need to do? Like, what more is there?
Especially at age 41 when your body's a mess.
Oh, dude, this guy is his body is not a mess. This guy is in better shape than anybody in the NFL.
Absolutely, but he's 41. He's taking hits for fucking almost 25 years. His body's in great shape, but
he hasn't taken many hits as other quarterbacks, though.
What?
He hasn't taken hits as other quarterbacks.
Absolutely, but you're still getting hit, dude. Like he gets hit as hard, and especially at 41, his body's in. Yeah, it's all that TB12 stuff. I'm a believer in it, 100%. But
here's all one thing to consider though: is the hits are less now than they used to be. With all the rules and regulations they have
and equipment, yeah, I agree.
He's in great shape, and I think that if he wants to compete and he said it, then he's gonna do it.
I agree.
I see it both ways, and I think that's definitely a topic that you could go for hours on. You know what I mean?
We can talk about this all night.
I see where you guys are. I see where me and Pat are. It's definitely something that's and it's a touchy subject around here. I hate saying it because the guy's my favorite athlete of all time. But staying on the Pats, fucking Friday, Edelman goes down.
Yeah, we'll roll through the Edelman thing quick because I don't really. Yeah. It's going to depress me if we talk about it too long. So
absolutely, and he's second favorite athlete of all time. Great guy, great player, a true patriot, and in my opinion, the second most important player definitely on the offensive side of the ball. Because you showed you can win without Gronk. Tom Brady's 4-5 in his career with a terrible QBR in the 80s without Julian Edelman. With Julian Edelman, his numbers are ridiculous. Who's the ball go to on third down? He had the most third down catches in football last year, 28. Third down catches for first downs, he had 17. He was tied with Mike Evans. If you're in any stat with Mike Evans, you're a fucking legit player. And, I think they're going to be fine. I said it the other day. The only thing that's going to come out of this injury – personally, I just think Ryan Allen punts 14 times more this year. That's really it. Because you don't have that third down guy that when the going gets tough, Brady doesn't have to look. He's just, there's Edelman. I know where Edelman is. I'm going to throw it there. I have trust in him. He doesn't have that in his other receivers.
Danny Amendola step up big time.
I think different.
No.
It's not Amendola. The acquisition of Cooks is huge now.
Absolutely.
What I want you to think about is look at their backfield. Deion Lewis, James White, Rex Burkhead, and Gillespie. There are so many things they can now do on third down. And it's not like they didn't have that backfield last year.
And you're going to see Burkhead play some slot. James White play some slot.
White, Lewis, and Burkhead can all do it all. Gillespie's going to be more of the power back kind of deal. But you now have 3 running backs that can literally go out into the slot too. So losing Edelman, it's huge. Don't get me wrong, but the Patriots put themselves into this position where they have a depth chart where they'll be all right.
Well, you know what it is? I think, to me at least, they can survive the Edelman thing, but now their depth is really questioned. So,
they can't. If anybody else gets hurt, I'm with you.
Right? You can't lose Gronk. You can't lose Amendola. You can't lose Mitchell. You can't lose Cooks. And you can't lose, even Deion Lewis. Because he's a guy that can come out of the backfield. I think Johnny's right. They're going to find some guys out of the backfield as well. Amendola, man, is probably the most clutch player on the team.
Absolutely.
That guy in the playoffs,
Yeah.
when they need a big throw, it's going to him.
It's Amendola. And when he stepped up last year in the Super Bowl and actually it was mostly the Super Bowl when Edelman literally couldn't catch a ball. He was just dropping.
He's never
in 2014. He was terrible in 2014, and then towards the end of the year, all of a sudden he caught fire, and he was unbelievable in the playoffs.
That's all that matters. All you got to do is show up for the playoffs.
Can Amendola prove this now over the long course of the season? He's never had more than 40 catches last year. He had 23 catches. I know he's been banged up, but that also says a lot about this year. You can't get him to get hurt, and he gets hurt every year.
Nobody's going to replace what Edelman did.
Absolutely. He's irreplaceable.
And so you're going to have to patchwork it. So you're going to have to every now – sometimes you throw to Amendola. Maybe he'll catch 10, 15 more balls. Sometimes you throw to Deion Lewis. Sometimes throw to James White. Sometimes it'll be Rex Burkhead out of the backfield. Sometimes it'll be Cooks running short routes or Malcolm Mitchell on the outside or whatever, So, you can't necessarily replace him with one player. You're going to have to do it with, 6 guys all doing, the things that Edelman did. None of them could do it quite as good as
And I think their offense is going to change. I think their offense is definitely going to have to change, and that's something they'll work on. You know what I mean? And especially in third down. Like I said, third down is the biggest loss for Edelman. That's where they're going to hurt is third down.
They're going to have to use the run game, I think, a lot more. And the acquisition of freaking what's his name, the tight end from the Colts.
Dwayne Allen.
There you go, Dwayne Allen. They're going to have to use the run game a lot more if you don't have Edelman there. And I don't think they're going to ask a lot of Amendola. I think they're just going to give him what he's comfortable with. And, he's always been comfortable in those positions. But having all those running backs and Dwayne Allen and Gronk, it's just you're going to have to go with more run play action passes.
Yo, Sanders, how do you get your arms so big, dude?
I'll tell you right now, 3 different steroids. Inject them about 5 times a day.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. There you go.
All right, another news of the weekend. Kyrie IT trade, obviously, personally, I think the Cavs knew this the whole time. I said it right when the trade went down. I was like, there's no way this guy passes a physical. Reports saying they want Brown or Tatum. Some reports say they haven't said anything about a future deal.
That's because they knew about it the whole time, and they were trying to pull not a fast one, but they were trying to pull more from the Celtics, and they're getting their way unless they do something about it.
And I think there's no way this trade gets vetoed because personally the Cavs are playing chess. They get the upper hand here because if they can't get a deal done with the Celtics, they'll go, okay, I'll pull Kyrie.
Yeah, we'll
you have to take
else.
Your players. You got to take your players back who can't stand.
Who are now pissed. Yeah,
and you can easily find another trade suitor for Kyrie.
But this is the only, and I agree with that assessment. But the only problem for Cleveland is you're not going to find a deal even close to this good. So maybe say IT maybe he only plays half the year, but it doesn't matter. He's a 1-year deal and he's out. Cleveland. If I'm the new Cleveland GM, I'm looking at it saying LeBron's not coming back next year, so we need to start planning for the future. If the Brooklyn pick ends up being a top 5 pick, which I personally I'm not sure if it's going to be or not, but if it ends up being a top 5 pick, that's your number one thing in the deal. You have Jay Crowder, who's a decent guy at the bench. If I come back for playoff time, you get a playoffs. So it's you have some pieces where you can help LeBron win this year, but you're also setting yourself up for the future without LeBron because it's coming. LeBron is leaving after this year.
Absolutely.
That's happening.
You know what's ironic too about that too? How he tweeted all about the jersey burning shit when, ironically, his trade when he left for South Beach, that's when the whole jersey burning shit started. You didn't really see that until then. And he's tweeting this is unbelievable. And he's just setting it up, I think, because he's like, I'm fucking gone next year.
I mean, I do think that's the stupidest.
Oh, it's stupid. Don't get me wrong, but
mostly because you wasted a lot of money on a jersey, and now
I just think it's funny because LeBron is the biggest douchebag in the NBA, and he's saying this now because when it's his turn to leave again, that's the first thing they're doing again.
Oh yeah. Well, Spags, what do you got for the other topic you want to throw in before I ask Sanders what's the funniest thing he saw this week that might be an animal video?
We've been all Boston, but it's pretty much been, obviously we're being biased, but Pomeranz in the Sox, He's been unfucking believable, man. Unbelievable.
You just grabbed your phone to look up that stat, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Who would have thought, man? Like this guy would be top 5 in ERA, tied for wins, top 10 in strikeouts, top 10 in WHIP. He's gonna get Cy Young votes. He could finish top fucking 3. If the season ended today, he's 3-4. Obviously, you got Sale, Kluber, Sale, but you can make an argument for him at 3. He's their stopper, man. I mean, with the rotation coming in spring with Sale, Price, Porcello, Pomeranz was in the conversation of maybe not even, being in that rotation. Like he had to battle for a spot in the spring, and then, Stephen Wright went down and Price's elbow, so he kind of got forced in. Had a rough April, but he's been unbelievable, man. He's their stopper. Him and Sale, 1-2, like you said, they're coming off a disastrous weekend where the division leads trimmed, and Pomeranz got the biggest balls, dude. Steps up, pitches well. Walked 5 guys today, but he battled, man. I love Drew Pomeranz, and I was so against that trade when they made it.
Doug Fister.
Oh, dude,
Doug
please.
Fister.
He sucks.
Big Doug Fister. Dude, he's been absolutely electric his last couple starts.
Coming at you.
Electric. Dude, he threw a 1-hitter the other day. And the only
dude, what's his ERA? A 5? I
don't care what it is. Dude, that guy is electric right now.
Josh, how about we roll our podcast from April when you said Brian Johnson would be your game 2 guy? Shut the fuck up.
Dude, Brian Johnson would still be my game 2 guy right now.
Fuck that guy.
Still be my game 2 guy. Well, Brian Johnson is a stud. Stud.
Right.
Go on, Pat.
Yeah, what, in Portland? No.
He might be. He's still a stud.
I just think, Fister's a good 5th starter. I would see you kind of fucking around. But, Pomeranz, I can't believe it, dude.
I can't either.
He's done. Done. And then all of a sudden, he's the number 2 starter. And this 4-game losing streak they had, Sale was one of those losses.
Yep.
So you're thinking your ace just lost, you're screwed. And Pomeranz comes in and shuts them down. That's what he needed to do. And you said he didn't have his best stuff tonight, but he pitched through it, and fucking Kimber almost blew it at the end, but they didn't, so they won.
The Yankees lost, so that's big.
I got one more thing before we go on to ask Sanders what stupid animal video he liked from this week.
So leave the animals out of it unless you want
animal porn. That's what he likes.
Wow, he's into that. All right, so right down the line, I don't want to hear any analytics. I don't want to hear anything like that. I just want to know who you got for Cy Young. Spags.
Chris Sale, but I think Corey Kluber's cutting the – if it ended today, it's probably Chris Sale just because of the numbers, and Kluber's sample size is lower. He's throwing 25 less innings. But if Sale comes out tomorrow night and gets rocked, Corey Kluber's my Cy Young. But right now it's Chris Sale by a slim margin. Corey Kluber's been unbelievable.
I like the way you think, Pat.
It's got to be Sale. the guy is so freaking dominant.
The way you got to look at it, too, I know I just cut you off, but Sale, without Chris Sale, the Red Sox would probably be 5-6 games back. Without Corey Kluber, he did some DL time. They got a good enough rotation where,
True.
I don't even know if they look at it like this, they'd be competitive in that division. And look at it, Price has pitched, 5-6 starts this year, and Sale's been their stopper, and they're still in first place in the AL East because of Chris Sale.
Right.
Sanders, what do you got?
Bronson Arroyo.
All right, Sanders, what's the funniest thing you saw this week, other than your answer, because that's probably going to be mine?
Okay, first off, I saw a guy shit himself at the gym. Now this guy's probably pushing upper 60s, but he was there, everything, and I just went on my day like nothing happened. I never saw it. Besides that, I got a pretty good animal video for everybody to watch if you want. Is everybody in?
Wait a second. Dude, we need some information.
Yeah, you can't just drop that and just fucking go on.
And I just walked away. That's what happened. That's the story.
I go to a place called Charter Fitness, and I'm doing some lat pull downs, supersetting that with some pull ups, and there's this old dude comes up to me. You using this? No, I'm not. Got some seed rows, and he gets up. And I look at him, and this old dude, he was trying, looked pretty bad, and I see him struggling. He stands up, he goes, gets a drink of water, and he's standing there with his hands on his hips like so. looking around the gym before he gets on his next set.
Hold on. Stand up and do that again for me real quick.
God fucking damn. He got his hands on his fucking hips like so.
Yeah.
And he's looking around doing a little vision of the gyms that he didn't have the hip thrusting going on. And he turns looks around, he's wearing some like cut off sweatpants, like the 1980s where they'd be like up to here kind of deal.
What a stud.
And I shit you not, brown spot. Not a spot, like a smear. Right down the ass crack of his short. Now, I'm not looking there, but it was so out of place. You have to look at it. You have to see it. There's no way that you don't see it.
And what, he just kept doing his workout like nothing happened?
He just kept going on like it was nothing.
You should probably fucking change gyms then, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I've been trying to for 3 years.
Oh, man.
What are they like?
$10 a month.
What do you mean you've been trying to change gyms for years? Do they like fucking they like fucking locked you in the basement or something?
Yeah, they got some blackmail on me, all right?
Okay.
Oh.
To end
Might
the
have to get in
show,
contact
I
with
got
them.
one of those things you
Hold
can
on.
Go.
Hold on, Specs. Give me a second. I got to hear Pat first. Pat, what do you got from this week?
I got nothing, so.
Well, this is actually it's an old story, but it made me. Well, anyways, I was reminded of something this week because I was at some training today or whatever, and I was sitting with a bunch of girls because I'm a teacher and they're all fucking women. So I'm sitting at a table, and I just made some. Someone said something, and I made some sort of comment. And I don't even remember what it was, but it was a movie quote, and I just fucking quoted it. And the girl and the three girls are looking at me like, "What the hell did you just say?" And I'm like, really? No one's seen that movie? And they're like, no. And I'm like, with what? Mm-hmm. And so, the thing is that with men, right, we're like, now I'm 33, but I remember the same shit from when I was like 12.
Absolutely.
It's just like, we have the most stupid shit in our head that we just remember like fucking movie quotes and useless crap like that. And women are like, who the hell remembers crap like that? They don't know shit.
That's
so
true.
Anyways.
I know that as well.
They remember stupid things like anniversary dates and birthdays and stuff like that.
They remember stuff like that, like important stuff. We remember stupid stuff. You know what I mean? So my first date with my wife, clearly she wasn't my wife at the time, but our first date, we're going out and whatever. I don't even remember what we did. Eating ice cream, I think.
She'd remember.
She would remember. You're right. She makes a comment. She makes some sort of comment like, her and her friends can read each other's minds or something like that, right? And so I just look at her like dead in the face and I'm like, oh, you're bulimic? And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, oh, have you seen Zoolander? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, you wouldn't get the joke then, I guess, like. Oh
my God, Zoolander is tremendous.
Right? So
tremendous.
Anyway, so I called my wife bulimic on our first date, and we ended up getting married. So that worked out. But it was.
I called my wife bulimic on our first.
I expect I expect this video pod to end with at least one person doing a blue steel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
I think it should be you, Joe. You have the nicest jawline of all of us.
There you go, kid.
I think I don't know, man. I don't know. Spags has it pretty good. Johnny's got it too. I mean, it's.
I have a double jawline.
Man, it's because you're a dad.
Well,
it's because you're a dad.
We'll all get there soon, Pat. Don't worry, we're not too far behind you.
Eventually.
But.
Well, Spags, clean us up.
If you could, I was thinking of this on the way home. Not if you could be, if you could be one person. What are you laughing at, dude?
Let go.
What?
He's gonna ignore, pretend that didn't happen. I
didn't hear anything.
Sanders' story about an old man shitting himself at the gym was actually a story about himself shitting himself. And he just made it sound like it was an older guy, just so we all would know. You know what I mean? And then accidentally he just shit himself on YouTube Live. Live on air.
Anyways, if you could be best friends with one athlete or famous person in the world,
Tom
Who
Brady.
would you be?
Oh.
Especially that athlete.
I'll start. No, it's got to be like we'll keep it to men. So you got to be like best friends with that man. Like he's your boy, best friend. For me, I'm going with Edelman because I think on and off the field stud, great guy. Like yeah, Tom Brady be cool. Don't get me wrong. Like that'd be unbelievable, and I feel like you should pick someone else besides him. But I feel like
Shut
that's
up.
the guy
That's my choice, okay?
you're gonna chill with. Like maybe have a beer. I don't think he drinks. Go play around of golf, but like Edelman kills it, dude. Like probably a family guy. He'll go to the bars, crush 40 beers, be a stud. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's just the man. Like I love to be boys with Julian Edelman.
With that said, if you pick Tom Brady, you automatically get Julian Edelman.
Good point.
I'm not looking at it that way though. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
you got to think. You automatically get Julian Edelman, which means
okay, but
you
if you're
automatically
Julian
get
Edelman,
Danny
you get Tom Brady.
Amendola.
No,
Same
wait
way.
a second.
If you get
Tom,
no. If you get
wait a
Tom
second.
Brady,
If you were friends, if you were best friends with Tom Brady, wouldn't that make Julian Edelman your enemy because he wants to be best friends with Tom Brady, and then he would be upset that you were best friends with Tom Brady and not him? So then he would.
I like the way you think, you math teacher.
No. Because if Tom Brady says, "Listen, this is my boy, and you're also my boy," Julian Edelman's like, "Okay, yes, Tom, absolutely, whatever you say."
No, yeah, but
Fuck you guys. I'm taking Gronk.
Inside, like,
That's true. That's a good one. That's a good pick.
I'm taking Gronk every day, all day.
Yeah, he's in that category too, Sanders, with like Edelman, like stud on and off the field. Somebody you can just crush beers with.
You know, Gronk just parties it up, and I'm always down to that. So
And he's an idiot too, and he's mad funny.
Nice.
he's basically
Pat, go.
love. So I'm in.
Pat, who's your guy?
Well, the interesting thing to me is that I feel like none of these guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like these guys would all be amazing, but like I feel like I'd want to go like bigger. You know what I'm saying?
How?
So like
Cristiano Ronaldo?
like Robert Kraft.
Okay.
Because you talk about money,
athlete.
right? And those guys got money, but Robert Kraft's got like
He's not an athlete though. Sanders.
Yeah, Robert Kraft ain't rushing
Oh,
for
he
any
didn't say
yards.
athlete, he
He's
said
catching any passes. His QBR is shit.
I don't know if I said athlete or famous person, but
yeah, I think
can go
I
Kraft.
would consider Robert Kraft a famous person, right?
yeah.
Famous person, it's a toss-up. You throw Kraft up there with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's making it tough to pick.
I mean, right?
I'll go Leo.
But think about that, dude. Right? Like Chris Rock used to say, like Shaq is rich, but the dude that cuts Shaq's checks, that is wealthy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Robert
that's
Kraft
true.
cuts
Fine.
checks. You know what I mean? Like, so
I don't want to be best friends with the nerd. That's all I'm gonna say.
Robert Kraft isn't a nerd, bro. If
You're a nerd.
Get the fuck out,
Bro, Robert Kraft rocks
You
Air
are
Force
a
Ones.
nerd.
Robert Kraft's a nerd.
Okay,
You are
Robert
a
Kraft
nerd.
rocks Air Force Ones at age like what 75, and has I know rest in peace Myra, but has a 35-year-old MILF of a wife right now.
Whoa!
Not
What?
married, are they?
Did you
What?
just make that up,
No,
I think they got
I'm
married.
pretty. Is he remarried?
No, I don't think so.
dude? No
He's
way.
got a girlfriend then.
I
No
don't
way.
think he does anymore. He did.
his
though.
girlfriend.
He did. I'm telling you, he did.
No, he definitely did. And I think they've kind of like he just closed the field down.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant man.
Right, dude?
Kraft's
Like,
a stud. Kraft is a stud.
And then you talk about getting Edelman if you get Brady, dude. If you get Kraft,
You get them all.
you get fucking everybody because everybody loves Kraft.
Scotch, I almost forgot. After that, we got to pick the winner of the contest. I'll do that.
Oh.
Right now.
All right.
God bless America.
Yeah. Nothing like free stuff out of my own pocket.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, just expense it. That's all.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Well, I
Chuck
gave you
it
a
up.
pretty good idea, but I don't think we did it.
Oh no, I don't think we did.
All right.
I mean, that doesn't really. You can still choose it, right?
Randomly, the winner of our podcast, our flag in the giveaway is
Your Wi-Fi. Congratulations.
no, that was
Nerd.
low power mode. The
Nerd.
winner is Connor Gavin.
God damn it! I thought I was gonna win it this year.
So that's the winner of the flag. If you're listening, which you're probably not, we'll get out to you DM. But
No, we won't. You got to listen. That's how it's
If
going
he
to work.
doesn't listen, he doesn't get shit.
all right, there
true.
you go.
I want my views. We want to get paid by our advertisers. You know that?
Yeah, when's that coming, Scotchy?
Today.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Huge.
It is huge. Maybe Sanders can get a real flag now.
All right, that wraps it up, I would say.
All right. Thank you very much, boys. See
All
you
right,
next
fellas.
time.
See you next week.